Hey, Cowboys Nation! Today we are diving deep into the latest developments surrounding America's team. And there is so much to discuss when it comes to the upcoming NFL draft and how it could reshape the Dallas Cowboys roster, from player evaluations to draft strategy and potential roster upgrades. This is a moment to dissect every angle and understand what could define the team's direction over the next several seasons. The excitement begins with an early look at projections and analysis. And while mock drafts are never exact, they give us a fascinating glimpse into possible outcomes and strategic considerations that could have a huge impact on the organization. The conversation starts with the early 2026 NFL mock drafts, which are always a source of debate among fans and analysts alike. These predictions can be wildly different depending on the evaluator, and the Cowboys' potential position at pick number 12 immediately draws attention. Many expect certain players to be available, while others anticipate the team pivoting in unexpected directions. Mock drafts highlight potential strategies, but they also underscore how chaotic draft day can be when trades, team needs, and surprises inevitably shake up the order. The goal for Dallas will be to maximize the value of their selections, balancing immediate needs with long-term upside while navigating a draft class full of intriguing talent. One of the most talked about names in the projections is Colton Hood, a cornerback from Tennessee, who is highlighted as a likely pick for Dallas at 12. Hood is praised for his combination of size, agility, and readiness to step into a starting role, which is particularly appealing for a team looking to strengthen its secondary. Fans should pay attention because while Hood's skill set is impressive, there are questions about fit and whether he addresses the Cowboys' most pressing needs. It's a delicate balance, selecting a player who can contribute immediately while also aligning with the team's vision for the future. Hood represents a potential cornerstone for the defensive backfield, but his ultimate impact will depend on how he integrates with the current roster and coaching schemes. Beyond Hood, there are other prospects who could influence Dallas' strategy, particularly at edge rusher and versatile defensive back positions. Kendrick Falk from Auburn is a standout edge rusher in the early discussions, noted for his athleticism, length, and potential to disrupt defenses consistently. However, Falk's production last season raised questions about consistency, and that becomes a critical consideration. For a Cowboys team already featuring several young defensive linemen, the decision to invest in a player like Falk involves weighing immediate contribution against long-term potential. Can he make an instant impact, or will he require developmental time before reaching his ceiling? This is the kind of nuanced evaluation that front offices must navigate with precision. The draft strategy becomes even more intricate when considering how early selections by other teams affect the Cowboys' options. For example, if top wide receivers are taken before Dallas has the chance to pick, the team may need to adjust priorities, trade up or down, or consider alternative positions of need. This domino effect is a defining feature of draft planning. Each selection by other franchises shifts the landscape, influencing which players remain available and which positions demand urgent attention. For Dallas, flexibility is key, while Hood at 12 is a compelling scenario. The team must be prepared to pivot and seize opportunities that align with both immediate and long-term objectives. Moving further into the mock draft, several names emerge that could indirectly impact the Cowboys' choices. Players like Emmanuel McNeil Warren, a safety from Toledo, and Jordan Tyson, a versatile college standout, are projected to go later in the first round, but still affect which talents remain at pick 12. This ripple effect is central to understanding the dynamics of draft day. Every pick matters, not just for the team making it, but also for those observing how the roster could be shaped by remaining options. In this context, the Cowboys' front office must evaluate both the immediate ability to contribute and the potential for growth, balancing high-floor players with those who might develop into stars over time. Another critical aspect of the discussion is how the Cowboys handle having the first-round picks. It's not just about selecting the best player available, but ensuring that each pick addresses either a pressing need or a long-term vision for the roster. For example, while Hood could solidify the secondary immediately, the second first-round selection may be used to target an edge rusher, a wide receiver, or another impactful offensive piece. These decisions are intertwined. The team must weigh immediate contribution against developmental potential, taking into account roster composition, positional depth, and future flexibility. The margin for error is narrow, because Dallas is not in a rebuilding phase, but rather in a position to refine a competitive Roster: wide receivers remain a particularly dynamic factor in draft planning. Even if the Cowboys have not selected one early, the availability or scarcity of top receivers can shift the approach dramatically. Teams monitor this closely because securing a high-level receiving target can alter offensive strategy, enhance quarterback performance, and create more versatile game plans. The domino effect applies here as well if elite receivers are taken early by other teams. The Cowboys may pivot toward edge rushers, defensive backs, or other positions where top-tier talent remains. Draft strategy is as much about adaptation as it is about planning. In addition to Hood and Falk, there are several other prospects whose potential impacts warrant attention. Players like My Lemon, Vega O, Cassius Howell, and Akeem Mazador bring unique skills to their respective positions, whether in coverage, pass rush, or route running. Each selection can influence the landscape of remaining options, and the Cowboys front office must navigate these choices carefully. Drafting is never solely about identifying the best player. It is about maximizing value relative to need, projecting fit within the system, and evaluating how each athlete complements the existing roster. Another factor to consider is balancing incoming talent with veteran leadership. The Cowboys must ensure that the infusion of rookies does not disrupt chemistry, but instead enhances performance. To first-round picks provide an opportunity to add immediate contributors while also planning for the team's future. Missteps could leave gaps that are hard to fill later, while smart selections could establish a foundation for sustained success. Hood and Falk represent calculated risks and opportunities, and their development will be critical for the team's overall trajectory. Trades are also part of the draft equation. The Cowboys could move up or down depending on player availability, strategic advantage, or a need to maximize value. For example, if a top receiver remains beyond pick 12, Dallas might consider trading up to secure a player who can instantly elevate the offense. Conversely, if players like Hood or Falk fall unexpectedly, trading down could provide additional resources while still addressing roster needs. The key is adaptability, responding to shifts in the draft board while maintaining a coherent strategy. As the discussion continues, it becomes clear that every pick carries significant weight. Decisions made between picks 12 and 20 will influence immediate roster gaps and set the tone for long-term success. Hood and Falk are central to this conversation, but secondary depth, wide receiver talent, and edge rusher potential also shape how the Cowboys approach the draft. Understanding the interconnected nature of these selections is crucial because it shows how individual picks affect the broader strategic picture. Finally, evaluating draft prospects involves more than just college performance or athletic measurements. Translating potential into NFL readiness is a complex process that requires foresight and flexibility. The Cowboys' goal is to find players who can contribute right away without compromising the opportunity to develop future stars. Hood and Falk illustrate the delicate balance between immediate impact and developmental upside by analyzing multiple scenarios, watching how other teams' decisions shift the landscape, and considering the broader implications of each pick. Cowboys Nation gains insight into both the risks and opportunities facing America's team as it looks ahead to the next season and beyond. As we move past the initial selections and early projections, the conversation shifts to the broader implications of the draft for Dallas. The focus is not solely on the first pick or even the first-round talent, but on how the team can leverage the depth and opportunities that emerge throughout the early rounds. Every decision, from edge rushers to secondary backs, creates ripple effects that influence the roster construction for years to come. The key for the Cowboys is to remain strategic while maintaining flexibility, ready to adjust based on how the draft board evolves. The question of positional priorities becomes central at this stage. With a cornerback like Colton Hood potentially off the board, the attention naturally turns to players who can strengthen other areas of immediate need: edge rushers, versatile safeties, and offensive weapons, all present intriguing possibilities. For instance, Kendrick Falk's profile continues to stand out as a player with extraordinary physical tools. Even if his production has been inconsistent, at 6'6" and weighing approximately 285 pounds, Falk possesses the length, speed, and agility to challenge offenses consistently, making him a tantalizing option for a team looking to add disruptive talent to the pass rush. The question, as always, is whether he is ready to make an immediate impact or whether development time is necessary before he reaches his peak potential. Evaluating players like Falk highlights the delicate balance between immediate contribution and long-term planning for Dallas. The stakes are high because the roster already features young talent with promising upside. Integrating another developmental player must be carefully considered to avoid redundancy or slowing the progression of existing stars. Front offices face constant pressure to weigh floor versus ceiling, and in this case, the choice revolves around whether to prioritize a player who can step in immediately or a prospect who might transform the defense in a few seasons. Meanwhile, the wide receiver landscape continues to influence Dallas' strategy. Top receivers being taken early by other teams may require the Cowboys to pivot, either targeting alternative positions or adjusting trade strategies to secure a player who fits the offensive scheme. This scenario illustrates the interconnected nature of draft decisions, where one selection can alter the calculus for multiple teams. For Dallas, maintaining awareness of positional scarcity and potential value is critical, particularly when evaluating whether to invest in a high-floor player versus a high-upside athlete. Depth in the secondary remains another focal point for strategic planning. Emmanuel McNeil Warren and other safety prospects exemplify players who could contribute immediately in coverage schemes that demand agility, awareness, and adaptability, while Hood may strengthen the cornerback position. Adding complementary talent at safety can provide versatility and flexibility in defensive schemes. The ability to rotate players and implement creative defensive packages is crucial in a league where athleticism and scheme adaptability define success. Fans should understand that draft selections are not just about filling gaps, but about shaping the tactical capabilities of the team. Beyond the top-tier names, there are multiple intriguing prospects projected in the latter half of the first round. Jordan Tyson, Hakeem Mazador, Carnell Tate, and Mike Lemon offer a mix of coverage ability, pass rushing skill, and route running potential. The Cowboys front office must assess how these players align with roster needs and system fit, taking into account how their selection might influence subsequent picks. Draft planning at this level is a delicate dance of prediction, evaluation, and anticipation, where every choice interacts with the larger roster strategy. One of the most compelling elements of this draft class is the challenge of integrating rookies with veteran leadership. Dallas must ensure that incoming players complement existing contributors, enhancing team chemistry and elevating performance without disrupting cohesion. The first-round picks provide an opportunity to address immediate needs, while also laying the foundation for the future. The balance between acquiring impact talent and preserving developmental paths is delicate, and decisions made in this window could resonate for multiple seasons. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Dallas Cowboys locker room may be on the verge of a seismic shake-up, as whispers swirl around a potential quarterback controversy that could redefine the franchise's future. Sources close to the team hint at growing tension surrounding Dak Prescott, who reportedly issued a dramatic ultimatum should a certain high-profile player arrive in Dallas. Prescott would consider walking away. While the Cowboys have always been strategic in their quarterback decisions, this revelation has sent shockwaves through the NFL rumor mill. Insiders suggest that Prescott's declaration is less about ego and more about perceived team dynamics. The player in question, whose identity remains tightly under wraps, is said to carry both elite talent and the kind of media magnetism that could overshadow an established starter. For Prescott, maintaining his leadership role and central presence in the offense appears non-negotiable. Analysts are now speculating what this could mean for the Cowboys front office. Could Jerry Jones entertain the idea of bringing in a marquee talent, knowing it might push Prescott out, or is this a high-stakes poker game, with Prescott leveraging his position to influence potential acquisitions? Either way, the drama adds another layer to an already electric atmosphere in Dallas, where expectations for playoff contention are sky-high. Fans have taken to social media, torn between excitement over a possible superstar signing and loyalty to Prescott, who has been the team's cornerstone for years. Commentators suggest that even a whisper of such tension can ripple across locker rooms, potentially affecting morale and performance long before the first snap. The Cowboys' handling of this delicate situation could set the tone for their next chapter, whether it's a bold retooling or a reaffirmation of Prescott's primacy. Meanwhile, the football world watches closely, and NFL insiders note that Prescott's ultimatum whether a negotiation tactic or a genuine line in the sand, signals that Dallas might be heading toward one of the most intriguing off-season storylines in recent memory. One thing is certain: if this rumored scenario unfolds, the Cowboys' quarterback room could become the most talked about drama in professional sports. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.